Hey everyone, hope your day is going well. We're going to check out this channel Geography now, and I thought I start it off with Belgium because that's where I was born and grew up. So I'm looking forward to learn a little bit. This is an older video, but hey, I'm late to the party as usual. Let's check this out and learn a little bit about the country that I was born and bred in. Let's go.
Let me tell you a little story. Once upon a time, France had a son named Wallonia, and the Netherlands had a son named Flanders. One day, a bunch of crazy stuff happened in Europe, yada, yada, yada. After all the crazy stuff subsided, Flanders was like, hey, Wallonia. Yeah? I'm gonna move out of my parents' place, and I got this new rad apartment, but I kinda need another guy to help me pay for the rent. I don't know, you're kind of a cool guy, I guess. Would you like to be my roommate? Yeah, sure, I guess. Why not? But just for the record, I don't speak any Dutch. Oh, no worries, I don't speak any French.
That is a hilarious intro, dude.
And that's how Belgium...
And I forgot about their other small friend who speaks German. That is so funny, dude. Oh, this is gonna get complicated. Belgium is a small country, guys, but it's yeah, it's complicated.
became a country, kind of.
Yeah, that's hilarious, man.
It's time to learn geography.
Now! Hey everybody, I'm your host, Paul Barbato. You've all probably at least heard of the name Belgium, and if you have, congrats! That's not enough. Let's dissect the flag.
Okay.
First of all, the flag of Belgium looks like the flag of Germany knocked over to the left side, but just keep in mind that the color sequence is black, yellow, red, not black, red, yellow. Also, the flag has an unusual proportion of 13:15, making it almost a square. The flag's
Really?
colors are directly correlated to the country's coat of arms, the black representing the shield and determination, the yellow representing the lion and generosity, and the red representing the lion's claws and tongue and the crown, as well as bravery and strength. Speaking of strength...
Yo, this guy knows more about Belgium than me, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Come on, hey, dang. That's but he did his research. We pick up things along the way and you learn in school, but once you leave school, forget about it.
You're gonna need a lot of it to understand this next part. If you're gonna learn anything about
politics?
Belgium, the one thing you have to understand is how the country is split up. This is very important, so pay attention, Brandon!
What? Azerbaijan? Yeah.
Dude, that was like 8 episodes ago! First of all, Belgium is located in Europe, right under the Netherlands, and northeast of France, right at the foot of the North Sea, next to the English Channel. In the most fundamental way I can put this, Belgium is divided into 3 regions. The Dutch, or the Flemish-speaking North region, called Flanders, the South, or French Walloon region, called Wallonia, and the capital, Brussels, acts in itself as a 3rd region, and functions in a completely bilingual way. Most of the people in Brussels speak both Dutch and French, however, French is a little bit more prevalent. Got it? Okay, good, because we're not done. Each of the Flanders...
We also have like a part that speaks German, but politically, indeed, oh man, there's like, how many governments are there here? No one understands it. I'm in the Flemish part. I'm like right at the coast here. I can smell the sea from where I am.
Flanders and Wallonia regions are then divided into 5 provinces each, making a total of 10 provinces. Brussels doesn't count and is considered its own region, not belonging to either Flanders or Wallonia, even though technically it's completely engulfed in Flanders. But then again, the region around Brussels has a French administrative area around the city called the BHV, or the Bruxelles-Alpes County, in which large numbers of French minorities live and can be judged in French, even though it's in Flanders. Still with me? Good, because it gets even crazier. The French also have administrative centers in the southeast and the southwest regions of Flanders, and a Wallonian municipal exclave in the West Flanders province called Commune Warneton, even though most of the people there speak Dutch. Furthermore, the Flemish have one municipal exclave in the Liège province.
He put a Dutch line in there, dit heeft geen zin, which basically means this is useless. You gotta laugh at this thing, man. If there's any Belgians watching, come on, we gotta laugh about it. It's so complicated. It's ridiculous. You cannot explain it. He's explaining it, but people from the outside must think like, what? This is crazy. And yes, it is.
Furthermore, the Flemish have one municipal exclave in the Liège province in Wallonia called Voeren. Oh, we're just getting started though. Then you have the German-speaking minority in the east of Wallonia in the Liège province, whom are making propositions to create an 11th province called Uten-Saint-Louis. Speaking of Germans, Belgium has a lot, and I repeat, a lot of weird territorial claims and boundaries. For one, there are technically 5 German exclaves hidden right along the border of the Liège province in East Belgium. However, these exclaves are only separated from mainland Germany from a Belgian train track, the Venbahn, which is no longer in use. This means that you can be in Germany and only have 10 meters between you and Belgium between you go back into Germany. The smallest of these German exclaves is just a small house near the German town of Kosen with a front yard less than 2 hectares in area. Oh, but wait, there's more. Then you reach the...
You know what's also, like annoying, is when and if you live there, it's got to be even more annoying, like when you're connecting to your network, 5G, 4G, sometimes you get hit with the German towers, sometimes you get hit with the Belgian towers, and like, what, it sucks.
Ever so confusing town of Barrel-Nassa and Barrel-Hertog, in which there are 22 Belgian enclaves in the Netherlands and 8 Dutch enclaves in Belgium, 7 of which are counter enclaves, or a part of the Netherlands in Belgium in the Netherlands. These borders at first make no sense. Apparently, they cross awkwardly through streets, buildings, restaurants, stores, and even houses. A person can literally wake up in one country and shower in the other. The rule is, whatever side your front door is on is the country that you pay your taxes to. The reason why it's so
I don't know which side you want to be on. You do not want to be in Belgium for taxes. Oh my God. They got you. They got us. They got us, man. That is some legit mobster stuff right there, yo. Oh my God.
Confusing is because, long story short, there was a guy ruling the area called Henry I, Duke of Brabant, who gave parcels of land to Godfrey II of Schoten, who ruled the area to the east, in an attempt to build an alliance so that his enemy Dirk VII wouldn't expand his influence. Long story short, Henry's land became Belgium, and Godfrey's land became the Netherlands. To this day, the two countries have stayed true to Godfrey and Henry's agreements and have split the land exactly how they did. But wait, we're not done just yet. Finally, you have the confusing Lys Rivière Canalerie River in the border between the Walloon province of Hainaut and France. Starting in the town of Hallou in France, this river zigzags for about 26 kilometers with multiple river islets and land pieces that act as penne enclaves until it all stops in the town of Armentières. Each side has an equal 7 enclaves each along the river. Okay, now let's talk about the landscape. It's mostly flat. Outside the cities, there's farms and forests. It's pretty lush and green. However, the Worldwide Fund for Nature ranked Belgium pretty low in terms of their environmental performance, and the water quality was the lowest in the EU, mostly due to the high population density. Belgium isn't really agriculturally...
Well, it's okay. I'm still alive. Nothing a Brita filter can't fix. Hey, yeah. I thought it was going to be the least controversial part of the video. We're talking just about flat land, yo. Man, it is. I can't even really like fact check him on these things because I know a little bit about it, but damn, he did his thing, man. He did his thing. This is a cool channel.
I mean, economically, most of their revenue comes from machinery, pharmaceuticals, diamonds, many of which were imported from the Congo. We'll explain about that in a little bit.
Ooh,
and service
that's
and
dark
industry
history
jobs as
right
well.
there. Ooh.
Okay, that's about it. Moving on. Now this is where things get really strange. In the shortest way I can put this, Belgium is kind of like an artificial country with technically no distinct form of identity, in which two regions kind of became roommates, and the respective communities have a government with the same power as the central government. Huh. And you thought Andorra was confusing with that whole co-principality thing. Brother, please, I'm Belgium. Sit down. I'm gonna give you a lesson in complication monadics. First of all, Belgium has a little less than 11 million people. At about 57%, the slight majority of people are Flemish from Flanders. About 42% are Walloon from Wallonia, and 1% German from the German community. Keep in mind, although it's debatable, the terms Flemish and Walloon are more in reference to linguistic communities and not ethnicities. By definition, you could have a Congolese guy in Liège identifying as a Walloon, and a Moroccan guy in Antwerp identifying as a Fleming. As long as they speak the languages and become citizens, that's pretty much it. In terms of race, though, about 77% of the people identify as ethnically Belgian, and the remaining 23% identify as non-Belgian in origin, some of the largest groups being Moroccans.
Some would claim it's the other way around, huh? Looking at some of the elections and stuff and the propaganda. Hey, now I'm going to get some cool comments. Let me have it, yo. Let me have it. Okay, this video was 9 years ago, so maybe the slice of the pie has changed a little bit, but geez, calm down, will you?
Italians,
We're all
Turks,
human.
and even Congolese from the Democratic Republic of Congo, as it was a former Belgian colony, along with Rwanda and Burundi, which is where a lot of the diamonds we talked about earlier come from. The Belgians even took over a small part of China for a couple decades in the 20th century in Tianjin, after quickly giving it back, and to this day, pictures from the Belgian Chinese colony are some of the rarest photos you can find in historical archives. As we mentioned, Belgium has 3 distinct regions: Flanders, Walloon, and Brussels. However, regions weren't enough, and so Belgium decided to split things up even more into communities. Due to the German-speaking minority, predominantly in the southeast, Belgium created a semi-mediary third community, even though only 1% of the country actually speaks German, less than the amount of people in Belgium who actually speak Arabic, and has instituted 3 separate governments and parliaments, one for each language group: the Dutch, French, and German. Each of these governments actually has just as much power as the central government. Wait, what? On top of that, the French and Dutch communities are allowed to provide cultural and social services to the citizens in Brussels, but not in the other region. This means that a family living in Brussels could possibly depend upon the central government for taxes, the French government for community centers, the Dutch government for schools, and the Brussels government for the police force. 4 governments acting at once. And then you have a king. Long story short, Belgium became a constitutional monarchy that started in 1830 with Philippe I as the current head of state. They are the only monarchy in Europe with no actual crown or lavish robes and scepters. They gained independence from the Netherlands. French-speaking Wallonia joined along, and then they chose a German prince to become their first king. In terms of culture, Belgium...
Yo, if you go back into those families, the Sucks and Coburgs, you know, you can trace them all back to almost, you know, there's a lot of Game of Thrones type incest there, probably. You know, come on, forget about it, guys. Yo, I'm having fun with this video, you know, stirring up some... I like to stir the pot. The big old melting pot.
And then they chose a German prince to become their first king. In terms of culture, Belgium can be attributed to a lot of things. For one, some of the world's most renowned surrealist artists came from Belgium, like René Magritte. Cartoons like the Smurfs and my homeboy, Tintin. I have read almost every single one of those comics. Ain't nobody mess with Tintin. That dude is mad boss. The national dish is...
Yeah, that's true. Hey, you know, we do have a lot of things to be proud of too, man. You know, hey, moule frites. And of course, you know, the comics, you know, very famous comics as well came from here, like Tintin, which we call kuifje in Flanders, in Vlaanderen. And of course, the Smurfs and stuff. And there's other really great ones that may have not made it to the global stage. And a lot of good food too, man. I heard the Belgian kitchen or cuisine described sometimes as French cuisine, but with German portion sizes. Like, yeah, hell yeah, that's it.
Mussels with French fries and mayonnaise. Belgians will tell you that fries originated from Belgium. And of course, waffles. They make some of the best chocolate in the world that rivals Switzerland. And of course, everyone's favorite Belgian, Jean-Claude.
No. Let's get this settled right now. Come on, Switzerland, where are you with your chocolate?
Van Damme. They host the headquarters of the EU and are typically called upon to help Europe administer their diplomatic affairs. Affairs with other countries we'll discuss in... Oh, Belgium, Belgium, Belgium. When will you learn? First of all, Belgium is a very neutral country after gaining independence from the Netherlands. Belgium quickly rose to become one of the leading powers of the industrialized Europe world, and it was a founding member of both the EU and NATO. This means that since day one, Belgium has had a huge entourage of affiliates that they've kind of kept close. However, some are still closer than others. The UK has always been a good buddy of Belgium since they played a pivotal role in the independence of Belgium. The US is also a good friend, and to this day, they still commemorate the Battle of the Bulge, in which the US played a huge role in during the liberation of Belgium in World War II. The only country that might have a little bit of a distaste towards Belgium might be the Democratic Republic of Congo, as they were occupied and became a colony for a little less than a century. Belgium kind of did a lot of things to the Congo. Although tensions are generally eased off a bit today and numerous Congolese people immigrate to Belgium yearly, there's still a somewhat aversion that lingers on in the back of each Congolese mind when history is brought up. Of course, as you would guess, France is a close friend too, whom not only played a role in Belgium's independence, but also culturally resonates with the South Walloon region as well. The Netherlands is a close friend as they jive well with the Flanders region, despite the fact that they have a somewhat friendly rivalry with each other. Over the years, many referendums have actually passed in Belgium in which they almost considered re-annexing themselves back to their respective neighboring countries, the Netherlands and France. However, they just can't seem to do it, even though the sense of nationalism is kind of weak, except during soccer games in which they go all out Belgian pride decade, they
That
still
is
can't
true.
seem to let go of each other for some weird reason. In terms of their best friend, though, they would probably consider Luxembourg. Luxembourg is kind of seen as like the
Really?
little brother of Belgium and has been there with Belgium since the very beginning. They were even for a short while part of Belgium after independence, and their own monarchs, Philip I and Grand Duke Henry, are actually cousins too. In conclusion,
I told you there's some Game of Thrones type stuff, man. Those novels are, you know, somewhat, some things come from, the Battle of the Roses and all of that king stuff. And, come on, it gets old, guys. Uh, Luxembourg, we have a province called Luxembourg as well. And, I might need to make it over there. People usually go there to get, less taxed cigarettes and spirits, liquor. They go over there and drive and, yeah, bring over some tobacco products in hard liquor. Yo. Yeah, there have been like talks. Some people, want Belgium to split up, the French part, the Dutch part, the Flemish part. We're already barely hanging on here as a country, to be honest. How are we going to make it? Really? How does it make any sense? And I don't know if there's Belgians watching, everybody will have a solution for it, but it is quite complicated. And I think division is not really it's not the way to go. But who am I, huh? I'm just some random dude on the internet right now.
Belgium is disputably the most confusing politically engineered country in all of Europe, and by all means, it makes no sense how they've kept it together for almost 200 years, but they actually did somehow. Belgium, we dip our fries in mayonnaise to you. Stay tuned.
That's what we do over here.
Up next.
Facts. I like that closing line there. We do dip our fries in mayonnaise. Try it, guys. Try it. Hey, there's some really great parts in his video. I like the humor that he puts in it. It is sometimes, it's very exhausting with the politics of it all and government. They broke their own world record over here with having no government for over 500-600 days. I don't even know. It's just not worth to memorize an embarrassing world record like that. And they're playing a little bit with people's lives and causing division. But I guess that's what politicians do, right? Cause division everywhere they go, and they eat it up. They love it. So, we come together with a few beers and chocolate and French fries, which we, of course, just call fries, which are Belgian fries, to set the record straight. And, it's better to unite. And it was a very interesting video. I learned a few things over here. So I definitely want to check out more on this channel, like from other countries and stuff, and learn a little bit. This is an interesting channel. Thank you, everybody, for being here, and hope to see you in another one. Peace.